you today because last weekend I participated in the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association Queensland State Jigsaw Puzzle Competition. So we'll get straight into it with a bit of like the backstory and prior to the comp. So I live in Hervey Bay, so it's actually like several hours to get to Brisbane because it was at Brisbane State High School. So we had the competitions was on the Saturday, so it was like 9 AM to 5:30. So we went down the Friday and we stayed at a motel, and we went to Westfield on the Friday because my sister forced everybody to go to Westfield. But there was one positive. I did get a puzzle, of course. I've got it right here. There was a toy world. So I have seen this puzzle before. And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't have to pay shipping. I'm gonna get it. It's this really pretty puzzle. Sorry for the glare. It's like a boat, like a nice yacht, and it's just really pretty. It's really vibrant. The price was $34.99. I went up to the counter and she was like, guess what's on sale for $30? And I was like, damn. So that was the only puzzle I like bought externally on that weekend, because I actually spent a lot of money at the Jigsaw Jamboree. So I had to save my money, which is my shirt. So now I have a cool shirt. Anyway, so I was really excited, obviously, because this is the second puzzling event I've been to, because 2 weeks prior to last weekend, so 3 weeks ago, was the Jigsaw Puzzle Jamboree in the Gold Coast. So that was the first puzzle event I've ever participated in real life. So I was really excited. And then this was my first speed puzzling competition again, so I was really excited. I was definitely a little bit nervous, but I didn't have high expectations for myself, so I wasn't like I just really wanted to participate and try and do like a personal best, not personal best, but like do good for me and just like be in the atmosphere and the environment. So a few things that I bought in preparation. So I actually bought these adorable puzzle earrings that I forgot at home. So I'll show you them first because they're gorgeous and I will be wearing them in the future. Matter of fact, I should actually be wearing them right now. You know what? Ta-da! I put them on now because I'm like, I should probably actually wear them. So I got my laptop here. I also bought from the same lady these beautiful little turtle earrings, and these are from Miss J Jewellery. But I just came across this on Facebook on the Jigsaw Puzzle page, and I was like, oh, I'll take them. And they're really cheap and they got here really fast. So if you want, not sponsored, but I really like them. But because I actually forgot these at home, on the day one of the pop-ups had some cute puzzle earrings, so I also got them as well, and I wore them the whole day. So I actually can't remember what the store was called, but if you were at the Queensland Jigsaw Puzzle Association, you'll know it was the one that the lady that was printing stuff onto t-shirts and stuff. But they're these really cute like little purple things. They're so cute. And these ones like stud ones, and these are hanging ones. So I was like, yeah, you're coming home with me. So now I've got plenty of beautiful earrings to use. So yeah, I bought these really cute earrings and I'm very happy. So once we got let in, we waited out the front for a while because we arrived really early. Once we got let into the gym, it was really cool to see all the tables set out and how many tables there were. And then there were some pop-up stores. So as I said, like one of the pop-up stores I got these earrings from. And then I only bought 2 puzzles from there, but that's only because both the pop-ups were Puzzles Plus and Mystery Matrix, which I actually already bought a bunch from at the Jigsaw Jamboree, but there were 2 new releases from Mystery Matrix that I was like, So I'll quickly show you them because they're beautiful. Number 1, these are toy puzzles. I I have 2 of this brand and they are just gorgeous. They got cats. They're just stunning. And then this one I took out of the plastic. Again, it's like the same artist. Just beautiful. Got cats. Oh, the sunlight's over here. Just gorgeous. 1,000 pieces. Yeah, I'm very excited to do them. And I know that brand is really good. So these cost me, what did they cost me? $42 each. So this brand is quite pricey, but it's honestly worth it. They're beautiful. So that's my bird. So done some reorganization, so they're down there. So that's it for shopping because I didn't spend any more money. So I already spent all my money. So we also got lanyards, which I was really kind of like happy about. So I got my lanyard here. We just write our name and then you scan this QR code to look at the leaderboard during the day. So I walked around wearing my lanyard, guys. Whoa. But yeah. Oh, stuck in my earring. Got it. Yeah, this is a fun piece of memorabilia to keep because it's a really nice lanyard. So that's that. So what else? I've got my notes here to remember. So what I took was my puzzle stand, which is my go-to one from Felicity's Puzzles. So yeah, I'll put like her Instagram or something down the bottom in the description. And then I also took a Kmart tripod, which I can't actually show you because I'm actually using it right now. But it was $6 from Kmart and it meant I could actually record my puzzling. So I actually will have time lapses for you, which I'm really excited about, for all categories. So I have solo, pairs and a team's time lapse, which is really cool. And it's also cool for me because I can actually see it back, relive the experience. So I will also put like the name of what I bought, because if you speed puzzle, I definitely recommend this. $6. It was great. A bit bouncy, but really good. So it's 10 a.m. It's solo time. We're ready to go. I was really hyped. So I'll tell you what like I hoped the puzzle was. So I was really hoping for a cartoon image. I love like cartoon or digital illustration. I like photographs are okay, but I definitely prefer cartoon and like flat image, if you know what I mean. And I was really hoping we didn't get AI, because I had seen from some of the previous competitions this year that I think a few of them looked like they were possibly AI, and AI images are just ugly and they're harder to puzzle. So I was like, nope, I was really hoping for a good image, which we all do. So there were a lot of participants this year. I've just got my laptop here with the leaderboard. So Queensland competitors, there were 199, but technically I'd have to count, so maybe I'll put it up on the screen. There were a bunch of out-of-state competitors, so you don't actually get ranked like on the leaderboard. So I think they said there were around 240, but I can count and put that up. So it was a stacked room. There was so many trestle tables. It was crazy. Like they were pretty much packed in this gym, and I was the last row, which actually was a blessing because it meant that my family could get a lot of cool videos of me from like behind me, because I was the last row. But obviously it's, I think they do it by like how good you are, and I had never competed, so I was literally dead last at table. I was like 215 or something. So I was like, oh, okay. But it actually was okay, and I think it paid off in that it was, I think, a lot quieter maybe at the back and just a bit more chill. So I was kind of happy. I set my tripod up. I was ready to go, and I was also recording, which I was literally, me and my pairs partner were literally the only people recording. I was like, guys, did you want all this back? So what was my goal? So my goal time was under an hour 15, because I have been doing that pretty good. I just broke my under the hour first try only like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, but I feel like I really consistently wanted to be able to get under an hour 15, so that was my goal. And under hour 15, technically the competition lasted 2.5 hours. I knew I wouldn't take that long, but yeah, an hour 15, that was my goal. Anything under that I was going to be happy with. So let's start the countdown.
Puzzlers, are you ready? Fantastic. So before you have a 500-piece puzzle. You've got 2.5 hours, and it's very, very simple. I will do a countdown from 3, and then we're into it. So here we go. Jason, timekeeper is ready? All right, let's kick off the 2026 Queensland State competition in 3, 2, 1, puzzle.
So when I saw this image, I was stoked because it is beautiful. Obviously you can see it on the time lapse, but it is called Shark Tales by Funbox, which have I done a Funbox before? I don't think I've done a Funbox before, but yeah, I was really excited for this image because I knew that it seemed like it was going to be a good one to puzzle. And so I started by obviously flipping all the pieces and pulling out edges, but I only actually ended up doing the sort of top and side borders because the bottom border is just as blue, and I was like, I don't want to waste my time here, like it's a little bit hard, we're just gonna move on. So this helped me obviously have a border to work off, which you've got the umbrella that's on the border, the bird, the sign. There's a lot that you can build off the border. So I was keen to get that top half done. So then I went for the bright colours. So the bright pink, you know, striped umbrella. The girl in the pink and white swimsuit. The shark sign. The guy's togs, like anything that was a bright color that wasn't blue or sand or ocean, I grabbed and worked on that. And then that helped me to then transition into really doing that chair and doing the people, which the woman in the chair was okay. The kid was definitely harder because he's like diagonal. But then after that, I sort of went back and I did the ocean edge because I felt like this is going to help me sort of have that full border done. I went for the shark. Now, originally I thought I might go for the shark earlier, but he was a bit hard, I won't lie. So he got left till nearly last, but he wasn't too bad. And then I had the sand. So the sand was actually before the shark. I'm just about at timeline. The sand was pretty easy. The green little trees were easy. The sky was a little bit difficult, but not too bad. It was the ocean that really slowed me down. So it's a lot of ocean pieces for speed puzzle, but thankfully there's a lot of distinct sections. Like you've got these little bubbles down the bottom, and you've got the white and the dark blue lines. So it wasn't too bad in actualness, but I did have to end up, I was probably, I don't know, 30 pieces left, something like that. I did a quick shape sort, which you can see in the time lapse, and this helped me move way quicker with the ocean, because I just picked a piece, shape, done, and then I really flew through the ocean once I did that shape sort, and I don't usually shape sort, but that helped me a lot.
Well done, Haley.
Thank you. So how did I go? So I didn't know what to expect in relation to sort of like, let me rephrase this. I was a bit worried about, honestly, like the point after the first person finished, because everybody's clapping and the atmosphere changes, because before it's quiet and it's like silent, and all you hear is the pieces like being flipped and pieces going in, and it was just really quiet and nice. But then after you have that first finish up, people just start finishing all the time, and you're just hearing people finish, and it definitely, like, it's nerve-wracking. But I was actually really happy with where I was when the first person finished. So I'll insert like a screenshot of where I was when the first person finished, which was at 39 minutes and 22 seconds, and this was Melissa Townsend. Sorry if I pronounced that incorrect. So like I wasn't surprised she won. She's like one of the best in Australia, so I was like, oh. But yeah, I was feeling pretty good. Like I was like looking at where I was like, you know what, like I'm not that far away. So second and third place were Rihanna Erickson with 41 minutes and 22 seconds and Rise Chua at 41 minutes and 43 seconds on the leaderboard. So where was I? I finished at 1 hour 10 minutes and 27 seconds. So round of applause, guys. I finished under my goal. So I was very happy with the time. Like obviously it would have been nice to get closer to the hour, but again, like I set myself a goal and I was 5 minutes quicker. So I was very happy with that. And on the leaderboard, that actually put me at 49th place out of, like leaderboard wise, 49th place out of 199 participants, which is like top 25%. So guys, I was stoked. It was just really fun. Like obviously the difference between me at 49th to first place was a big difference, but it still counts as 49th. Technically, I wrote down here, like technically if I factor in and include the out-of-state competitors, I actually finished 69th out of whatever it was, participants. I'll have to put it up. So 69th out of over 200 participants is still really good, but the leaderboard is what counts, so that's 49th. So I was very happy with that. And I really had a pep in my step after this. I was really hyped. I was like, you know what? Like, let's go. So I had till the 2.5 hours and then plus an extra half an hour before pairs started. So we went and had some lunch at the food truck and chatted with family and my other team members. And then we went on to pairs. So pairs was at 1 p.m. and my pairs partner was named Tanya. And little backstory on my pairs partner, it was a few months ago when they first released tickets. I knew that I wanted to participate in all three, so I bought all 3 tickets, even though I didn't actually have a pairs partner or team members. So I ended up putting a post up on my local Facebook and the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association group, and I got 2 team members. So, and one of them is named Tanya, and she was my pairs partner. And it's really funny because they had like a little competition before pairs started, and it was like who had the biggest age gap, and Tanya's like, we have a 36-year age gap, and I was like, oh, okay. So I think there was 4 pairs with a 36-year age gap, and nobody had like more, so we all ended up getting a free puzzle. So I was like, that's really fun. So yeah, we went to the group pairs with the largest age gap, but me and Tanya have been doing some pairs practice. I think we've done maybe like 7 or something pairs puzzles before, so we definitely knew what sort of like time range we were at. So the longest puzzle we'd ever done was an hour, and it was, I got it here, this one took us, I think, like an hour 2 or something like that as a pairs. And then the quickest one we did, I think, was 41 minutes or 42. So we definitely knew we were gonna do okay. We were feeling good, and me and Tanya are actually like, we work really well together. So we were hyped again, and we sort of discussed, and we were like, let's try and get 40 minutes. So that was our goal for the pairs, was 40 minutes. So we also bought one small tray in. Like, lots of people use sorting trays, but for me in solos, I think a sorting tray is just like, it's too, like, I get too overwhelmed with the tray in the way. But we practiced with these small little lids she had. They were only probably about like this big or something, and they were actually really good for putting edge on or putting just like one color on. So we decided we would take one tray in, so we did that, and then also set up the time lapse. So we had the countdown.
Are you ready? Yes. That is definitely a room full of ready puzzlers. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
Empty.
So we got Sozopol, Bulgaria, another fun box one, a photograph image. So I literally said before, I'm not the biggest fan, but it was sky, it was ocean. I love sky, I love ocean. So again, we started flipping, pulling edges. We pulled those edges onto the little tray we bought, which made it really easy. Tanya worked on the edges and I went straight for the ocean. I love ocean, so I did the ocean pretty quickly. Basically, like, by the time Tanya was finished edges, I was finished ocean. And then we decided that Tanya would work on the sky, because I'm usually a sky person. I love doing sky, but we orientated the puzzle with the sky at her end, and I was like, you know what, I'm happy to do the tablecloths. So Tanya did the sky and I did the tablecloths. Tanya actually really flew through the sky, and I did okay on the tables and the chairs. I think there is definitely distinction in like the size of the pattern, that you were able to tell what was in the forefront and what was in the background. But it was still like the chairs were hard because some of the blue pieces you thought were the sky, and it took me a little bit, but I did get there. And then we were left with this sort of middle section, which my dad actually told me as an observer, spectator, that this is basically what everybody else did as well. Everybody was left with this middle green section here. So we worked on this together because it was actually pretty quick. Like, it seems the hardest, but it wasn't that hard. Did the lamp post, the green, and we really flew through that middle section.
Here. Done.
Very good. I'll just put your paper. It's way in there.
So again, how did we do? So we knew immediately that it was going to be way quicker for the first finisher, and you were just waiting for it to happen. So our first finisher in pairs, or pair of finishers, was Rihanna Erickson, which was our second place solo, and Melissa Townsend, which was our first place solo. And they finished in 24 minutes and 4 seconds. Oh my god. That was mind-blowingly quick. And then second place was Michelle Owens-Green and Kayla McGrory at 28 minutes and 29 seconds. So a 4-minute jump there. That's how quick those two women are. They're crazy. And then third place was Rise Dua, which was our third place solo winner, and Sarah Carsten at 30 minutes and 28 seconds. So we got some quick pairs. But again, me and Tanya, when we had that first person finish, we were like, we're actually not that far away. So we actually finished in 40 minutes and 52 seconds. So we were stoked with that. It's our quickest time we've ever done as a pair. It was around that goal. It wasn't under the goal, but we were happy to be like a 40-minute time. And even better, this actually put us on the leaderboard at 15th place out of 185 pairs. I forgot to say before, there's actually 185 pairs that were, let me just check, Queensland based. Yeah, so I'll put the amount of actual pairs, including non-state participants now. But in 15th place, factoring in out-of-state competitors, we actually finished 21st, but still, that's crazy. We were like really happy with this because like 15th place is like really good. Like we're only, 14 places away from first. So we were really happy with that time. And it feels good to be like that high up on the leaderboard, especially for our first pairs competition ever. And we've only been practicing for a few months. So we definitely like got more motivation to be like, wow, like we actually work really well together. We could get like really good times together, which this is a really good time, but we could be getting to 30 minutes, not 30 minutes, but like 35 minutes or something like that, We're not that far away. So overall, I had a great time and I actually really enjoyed this puzzle. I'm very keen to give this one a go as a solo puzzle. I haven't yet, and I might make another video about retrying these. But yeah, it's like a lot of big sections that are time consuming, but overall it's not too complicated, and like you know where something goes. The sky's up here, this is the ocean, these are the tablecloths, and then you're left with the green. So, excuse me. I was pretty happy, and it's a really nice quality puzzle. Had a great time. So let me see if I have any other notes. So we had a break because pairs is only an hour and a half, so we finished at 40 minutes, so we had a break, and then we had half an hour between pairs and teams at 3. And since our other team members were pairs partners, and they finished not long after us, which let me just check, I think they were 22nd on the leaderboard at 44 minutes and 20 seconds. So they were very close to us, so we had some time to talk strategy, which we did. We were, I don't know, like, we didn't have like a set strategy or anything, because actually I had only gathered 2 other team members, Tanya and another lady called Annette from Harvey Bay. And I could not find a 4th team member, and I was freaking out. But Annette went to the competition last year, and she had been like randomly selected with a guy named Jack, and she said they worked really well last year, and she would send him a message and see if he wanted to be her pairs partner this year and be our team member, and he said yes. So we were like, and actually we worked really well as a team. So we had talked some strategy, sort of like spoke about what we were good at, but it was really quite dependent on the image that we were going to get, which again, I was hoping for something not AI, something nice, cartoonish, which I was pleased with what we got. So countdown, let's go.
Okay, Jason, are we ready to go with the time? Thumbs up? 2 thumbs up. Puzzlers, are you ready? Yes! I can't hear you. That is much more like it. Thank you so much. All right, I think we can get this competition started. I'm going to count down from 3. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, puzzle!
We got this beautiful magnolia puzzle. It is beautiful, by Shania Barati. It's beautiful, but it's a lot of orange, and we could see that it's a lot of orange. It actually looks easier than it was, but pretty soon into puzzling, we figured out that this is gonna be a bit of a challenge. I forgot to mention before, we had a goal of under an hour, because previously we had done some teams practice as 3, and we were usually getting like an hour 35 for 3 people. So we thought it's possible, it's a good goal, let's try under an hour. little did we know that we were going to be given this puzzle and that it was going to be hard. So we flipped edges. We took 4 sorting trays, I think, of the same ones that we had in pairs. And we pulled edges and Annette went for edges. Jack began working on like the dog's jacket and the bunny, which he was doing really good with that. Tanya went for like this boot line here and the car, and I sort of just went for browns. Bad decision. I was stuck on browns. I probably spent like 20 minutes trying to do the browns and could only build the cart. I could not get this tree for the life of me. So eventually I was just like, guys, like I need to get out of here. Like if somebody wants to swap with me. So I ended up swapping into Jack's spot and he swapped into mine. And I moved on to these bottom flowers, which thankfully weren't too bad. And I ended up spending pretty much the rest of the puzzle on this bottom row of flowers. So while I was doing that, Jack was trying with the browns. Annette was working on this sky bit. Tanya's still working on the car. And eventually Jack moved to trying to attempt these leaves, which there's a lot of. We were all working hard and we knew it was a hard puzzle by the fact that we just kept waiting. I just kept waiting for the first team to finish. And it just kept waiting and waiting and waiting. The trees were a nightmare. Jack was trying to work on them. We were all working really slowly and we were waiting for the first finisher. So we heard the first claps at, what time was it? What organization? At 45 minutes. So it was a pretty long time. I don't know if that's like a long time, but it felt like a really long time. So we kept working. I kept working on the bottom. Everybody kept doing their part, and eventually we got, all we had left was these leaves and basically the tree and the leaves, and we slowly worked at that, and then we finished. It was a quite torturous finish. I think we were all ready to be done with this puzzle. It's a beautiful puzzle, but it's not that fun of a speed puzzle, because it's a lot of orange.
Okay.
So we ended up finishing at an hour 18:28, which if you compare that to like our times doing with 3 people doing around an hour 35 on several different puzzles, and the fact that Jack is not a slow puzzler, he is a quick puzzler. I think he was doing like an hour and a half for his solo and doing, you know, 44 minutes in a pair. We're all pretty quick and we were struggling. But we actually, and I remember thinking, I didn't hear that many people finish before us, and we ended up being 8th place out of, how many teams was it? I think it was 70, won, yeah, 8th place out of 71 teams. We were stoked because that's literally like 5 places away from the top 3. We were stoked with 8th place. Even with such a long time of an hour 18. So our first place was Speed Puzzle Pals at 45 minutes and 39 seconds. So congrats to them because I don't know how they did it. Then we've got second place, which was Ducks in a Row with 46 minutes and 46 seconds. And right after them was Mission Impeaceable with 46 minutes and 54 seconds. So really close there. And then you jump to us at 8th place at an hour 18. But you've got a huge jump between 3rd place and 8th place. If I look at my leaderboard here, so there were a few out-of-state competitors, but they don't count, sorry. No. But yeah, we're jumping from 46 minutes, we're going to 49, then 55, then an hour 4, an hour 9, hour 11, hour 12, hour 12, and then us an hour 18. So we were actually 6 minutes slower than 7th place. I think that just goes to show how difficult of a puzzle this was. So again, we have 71 teams plus out-of-state competitors, which is this. And yeah, it was difficult. Like, and the thing is if you look at the leaderboard, we only had 26 people, like state competitors, finished out of those 71 teams that actually finished their puzzle in the 2-hour time limit. So 26 out of 71. So yeah, over half of the competitors did not finish this puzzle. And it was like, sort of had discussion about it after whether they should have picked an easier puzzle, but I guess that's the challenge. Can you actually do it? So we did, and 25 other people did, well, actually more than that because our state competitors did it. And I forgot to name also that our team name was Piece of Cake because I had to name it like out of the blue when I bought the ticket, so I chose Piece of Cake. So we're gonna keep that because it's good luck now, isn't it? But I think overall I was super happy with my results from this day. I was really just stoked to have gotten pretty good times, pretty good places, and like when you're not that, like on the leaderboard, when you don't have to scroll that much, it feels pretty good because you're like, whoa. And like for teams, 8th place for a team of 4 that had never puzzled together before. Like we had puzzled as 3, not with Jack, and he fit in really well with us. And again, like we'd only practiced for a few months. I think we practiced 2 times as a team of 3, and we were 8th place. So I think it does show that we definitely have the potential to do even better as a team, as a pair with me and Tanya. We actually bought tickets to, I think it's called like the Puzzle Twist Pairs competition. That's at the end of August. It's another online competition, but our first online competition as a pair. I have already bought August tickets for online speed comps because I'm really feeling motivated in speed puzzling. It really like put a pep in my step to try and do better. And I think it feels good when you actually see the progress that you're making, and like I'm implementing the strategies that I'm learning and it's actually working. So I'm like, yes. I think for me the next goal is to be sort of confidently around the hour. I really want to finish under the hour is what I'm going to do. So that's sort of my next goal in speed puzzling, is I want to be under that hour, and I want to be sort of consistently under that hour. So that's the goals for pairs. Just practicing, doing even better. Teams, well obviously Jack lives in Brisbane, so we can't do team practice, but we can still practice as 3 and try to get better as puzzlers. I'm definitely keen to do it next year. I wish there was more competitions, but overall I had a really good Okay, round 3, my phone was about to go flat. The luck is not on my side today, but anyway, overall, definitely want to compete next year's competition. I honestly wish I had the money to go to nationals, but it's really expensive to get flights to Melbourne. I think it's definitely like motivated me a lot to keep practicing and keep trying, and I just had a great time. So I would recommend, if you like to be puzzling, that you participate in your local state competition, because it's really fun. And like, there's a 2.5 hour time limit for solos, so you don't have to be the fastest person in the world. Just the feeling of participating when everybody else around you is also doing the same thing is just really fun. It's really fun, and it's just like so fun to have a competition environment. I was never into sports, so I never had like a competition vibe, so I did puzzling competitions, but yeah, I just loved it and loved the experience, and I love the puzzles, and I'm really happy. So I hope you enjoyed this video and the time lapses, which I'm really happy I got. And yeah, I have a few other videos that I'm going to be getting ready to post, so I hope you like those as well. And I will probably be doing a video on trying to attempt this one as a solo and improve my time on this one. So I'll be working on those. And overall, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day.